Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and I'm taking you on just an evening tour of my backyard cottage garden. It's the evening, it's a Saturday, a lot of people are out and got home from work, and so it's 90-some degrees today with about 70% dew point. It's the first hot day here in Minnesota. Otherwise, we've had beautiful temps, rather cool to tell you the truth. But there's a huge storm system coming through tonight that I'm just kind of worried that this isn't going to look really good for you in a different video. But a lot of these are seeds that I started. This is just a dahlia. It's a cactus mix. And I really like that. So do the earwigs. So anywhere that you see damage on the leaves, there's a different one. I think just because this plant is pretty healthy, they don't really get that. Look at, isn't that neat? I love those colors. But yeah, I just wanted to show you how everything was doing, especially the seeds that I started in. Some messes. The cosmos, the earwigs love it, but I love deadheading cosmos. It's just something I can do now without too much thought involved. I find it calming. That's not exactly beautiful, but look at the center. Here, this one, I know this is really over, but look at that. I think this one is apricot or pink, apricot lemonade, not pink lemonade. But I'm not caring for the celosia this year. I'll try it again next year, but it's been flopping a lot. I've used it in a couple of cut flower arrangements, but it's not a favorite. And this dahlia also I started from seed. It nods, so it's hanging down, but the backside's really pretty. But the earwigs really like this one. It's kind of a coral salmon color, so it's probably the biggest one that I started. Then I do have one back here that's looking a lot better. If you know my tours, that was wilting pretty bad, but it's doing much better. I haven't watered it still. Zinnias are looking good. I do like these. I was expecting a little more double, like that one in there is really pretty. I need to kind of space this so I can get in there. But I went with more of the warmer tones. This dahlia is just amazing. It's got so many buds on it. The bees love it. There was so much activity on this before, it was crazy. The gomphrena, I have a white one. I think this is Audrey white. I like it. It definitely branches out a lot more than the other one I planted. But I do like white. It is cute. The lemon talinum is okay. I needed to plant it sooner than what I did. It's branching out the bottom, but it might have been stunted just for sitting in the can too long. But I love this in arrangements. And yes, I do have my hose out. I finally had to water after how many inches of rain. It was a lot, but this gomphrena is a bit taller. This is Keys Carmine. I did cut a lot from here, so it's just branching out. More of the white. I think I'd rather have this in the landscape than as a cut flower. This dahlia here, it's okay. The earwigs really like this, so they really eat the petals and they nestle in there, and it's really gross. I do not bring any of the dahlias in for cut flowers because it's just that disgusting. But I have been loving the annual rudbeckias. I don't know if this is the caramel mix or the Sahara. Is that not gorgeous? They got nice long stems. Love these in arrangements. I just, for myself, cut flowers. This one's gorgeous. There is some earwig damage on these too, but look at the different colors. Next year I'm going to start these seeds a little bit later and hopefully plant them in the front containers for fall. Can't wait to see what color this is going to be, because I have a lot that are like the darker tones. So I'm hoping this is a yellow. I don't have many yellow. Another dahlia. That I bought the tuber. I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. I saved the tag. Omega. So all of the tubers I got this year from those two companies, the tubers look like crap. So I'm not overly impressed. I won't buy tubers again. I'm done with that. I mean, granted, these aren't amazing, but it is fun seeing what they look like when you start from seed. So that is it with that area. And then I just have some eucalyptus in back. A neighbor bought it for me. It's not doing a whole lot. I think it likes the heat. Sweet peas are looking pretty tough down here. This is not, it's a little messy. So far it's doing okay. I just don't think I'm gonna get too many more blooms. I've been picking a good amount, but not as much. This is a long stem. That I'm super stoked about because normally they were shorter, but they do smell amazing. I've been having bug damage on it too. They're like these red, orange little, I want to say they're aphids. I've been smushing them, so maybe that brought in some of the predators. I'm not standing right. Oh, yeah, right there. So I just come in. That's all I do. Hopefully something comes in, and I'm loving these. This is Verbena Bampton. These are seeds I started, plants I started. So this one I planted in May. I really liked it. So of course I had to have another one. So flanking the path here, it'll look really nice. If you can, it's just kind of a see-through. So dainty. I hope the seeds all over the place for next year. I do have to get in here and manage the Bevan's variety hardy geranium. If you see the cement, it's come out, and that's fine. I will leave this. I love this. But this is smothering a rose in here, and I've got to get in and either deadhead some of the delphiniums or eliminate some. If you don't know my channel, I had about 20 inches of rain in June, and so my gardens were underwater. There's been just a lot of lush growth, which is very weak growth too. So I'm tired of staking. Even grasses are flopping, so it's just, it has not been fun. And Veronica's been, so it's in there. I can't get in there. It is starting to bother me just a little bit. This rose, this is William Baffin on both sides. This one, I think I'm just gonna call it quits with that. It struggled last year and it is this year, but this one's doing great. So I'll just let that take over. I might either do a clematis here or a honeysuckle. That is still from the rose that I cut. I have so much waste. It's crazy, and all my bins are full. That's all from yesterday working in my cottage garden. And if I was pumping water out of my backyard, those are the hoses. Yeah, that was, I think I did it 6 times. Hydrangeas are doing really good. This one's the first one to bloom. Some of them, the leaves are yellowing and dropping. I'm just going to keep an eye on that. But they are definitely liking all this rain. Yeah, yesterday when I started in the garden, it was just going to be a little trimming, and then it ended up being a lot. I might have to give that a water. That looks droopy. We got a ½ inch of rain this morning, but that's not enough for some of these containers. The pelargoniums, this is Maverick Salmon that I started from seed. I will repeat this next year. I love it. Maybe not this color. I might try a different one. I like to always do something new. But wow, have they filled out, and they look amazing. And I haven't fertilized them at all. It's just been rainwater. So this is where I do have to do a lot of control, just get some air in there. I'm not big on salvias. I like plants that look good before they bloom and after they bloom, and this is just, it's okay. But at this point, I don't know. Yes, I could cut it back, but it's never really gonna bloom wow for me again. And it is one that I thought I eliminated a couple years ago, so it's vigorous. This is wee white hydrangea. Look at that. I completely forgot I had that in there till it came up. I'm like, well, that's right. I had a hydrangea, and last year it barely did anything, and that's just due to rain. So they've been loving it. That is a magnolia in there I planted 2 years ago. It's not going to stay there. It's a Ann magnolia. I don't know. I'll have to figure out where I want to put. I think I know. And this, I'm not, it's not a wall plant. It's a dicentra that blooms all season, and it can take some sun. It's not anything that's spectacular. Bee balm is going over. I do like this one. It's more of a brighter pink, like a cotton candy pink, but that's okay. There's a lot in this garden that's just been taken over. The coneflower was taken over by right next door. That's a tall garden phlox. That is an amazing bright pink color, so it's vigorous. So maybe I'll just say goodbye to the coneflower and just let that have its time. The lambs here, it's just, I don't love it and I don't hate it. So it's been a lot of rotting. I've been cleaning it out and it stinks. I was like, it's just stinky. And so, and there's a little damage. I mean, it looks good. Before there was a lot of hail damage, but I hate cleaning it up in the early or late winter, early spring. And I don't know, it's just, I have to think on it, but it still looks good. The Millennium Allium here looks good. I have one back there, so I really like those. The other ones just got eaten up by the tall garden phlox, but I'm kind of okay with that because all of the alliums you see like here, there little things coming through, that's from a different one that just self seeds all over. Not that that's a problem, but I mean, it's a little too happy. The Purple Prince Alternanthera, they were annuals that I started from seed. The rabbits had just munched them down to the ground. I left them and they're kind of making a comeback, so maybe if the rabbits don't find them, they'll look pretty good here. I'm not sure why my Amsonia is even blooming again. Is that not great? Like that little blue bloom right there. I have a few spots. But yeah, so when I was in here just cutting back things, I'm like, I might want to do a little bit more just to give other plants room. Like, I love the Oh So Easy double red roses, but they're just, you can no longer see the one back there by anything. And I'm not gonna move a rose before a perennial. They're a lot easier to deal with. So this is a hydrangea. I think it's Firelight Tidbit. It better put out some blooms with the amount of rain that we had this year, because if not, I'm not gonna hold that. Something else can go there. Roses will put out another flush, especially with all the rain we had. But that's a Veronica I started from seed 3 years ago, and I love that one. It's a sightseeing mixture. I really like the purple. The pink in here is Pink Goblin, and honestly, I'll show you on the other side. I was just gonna cut that all back, but I just wanted a little color in here because yeah, you'll see what I did. This is just an aster, so I like this, and this looks really nice. Can't wait to see it bloom. It's probably gonna be blooming sooner than later, maybe. But this is where I would just, the White Wands Veronica, every year it has done this. No matter if it's been dry, rainy. I had it in the back a little bit. I thought maybe it was too shaded. This now gets a lot of, and it, look. So when I shear this back, it's just gonna be a dead spot. And so I'm done with this one. I do not, I love the blooms, the pollinators love it. You know I love Veronica, but this is a plant that when it's done, it's gonna look like crap. And it will flush out again. It'll take some time. But I want something looking good there the whole time. So that's where I was like, maybe I should plant some alliums. Because at least the foliage will still look good. And then I'll get kind of a later bloom. And it's another pollinator attractor. So I'm just kind of going back and forth with that. The astrantia have been loving this. It's just, oh, love it. This is probably one of my top favorite plants besides Alchemilla mollis. But I will come in there and probably deadhead at some point. But you can see some of these still look really good. And even the ones that have gone over look great too. Heuchera is still looking good. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening, so it's a little muted over here right now. These grasses, I was gonna shear them back, and they're just brown, but this would have created even a bigger hole. I mean, look. Last year they were gorgeous. I mean, this is pretty, but can I say how awesome this looks? And I didn't even do much with that. That's baby's breath of mine in there that I did plant, but everything else is self-seeded and looks fantastic. But those 2 dahlias are waltzing Matilda. And then that is just creeping baby's breath, like a ground cover. That's Mother Nature. That was not me. She did it great. Better gardener than me. Hardy hibiscus is massive, and I was expecting this. I kind of lost my path here, but this is what I've been doing. These are where the lupins were. I sheared them back. Sheared back the delphiniums. This is a pink alba veronica, so it created a huge hole. At least the rows here will have a chance to just kind of breathe and, you know, flush out really good. And then here, it's still there, but that's the penstemon, onyx and pearls. There's just some big gaps here that when I got done, I was like, ooh. And so now I'm trying to figure out if I want to leave it, let it reflush, or I'm thinking I probably should go with shrubs. I'm getting to that point where they're a little less maintenance, maybe a little bit of pruning on there to control size. But like I said, this year with all of the flopping and staking and you name it, I'm just, still looks good. But if you were standing right beside me, you'd go, what did you do, Susie? Because it was, there, I'm just kind of look up. But it felt good when I was done. At least I'll say that. Look at this hydrangea. It's loaded. But, all right. Don't know why it's going that way. But so I can't wait. So that'll be nice. I mean, that does get big. So there's some areas where I'm not gonna, oh man, he flew right in my ear. Where I'm not gonna replant. I'm just gonna give it room. This delphinium I cut to the ground, and look how much growth it's put on. But I'm not going to keep that. That crowds out the peony there and the peony here. This all self-seeded. It's a Nicotiana. I mean, I love Calamintha, so we'll see. More lupins I hack back. But I'm thinking maybe I should just neaten that up. That way I don't lose this path. Even the grasses I was thinking about getting rid of because they were just flopping continuously. So I want something with purple foliage. I don't know if I want to go with a barberry, which is not invasive in my area. I'm a zone 4B. I could go with a 9-bark or a smoke bush, those 3. So I'm debating about that. I think that'll look really good. But I do love the grasses. Can you see all this activity? Of course, it's not a tour without sirens. I don't know if you can... That's a big boy over there. That's the one thing I love. It's got to be a wasp. Veronica is just the most amazing pollinator magnet. So I did stake up a lot of stuff over here. It's a little rough looking, but all in all, I do like that one. Oh, and this is another tall phlox. This is David. This is kind of the height I was expecting it to get to. I did a lot of weeding, but the way I weed is, please don't land on me. I leave it. And I mean, with as warm as we were gonna get, it was supposed to be dry. So I figured it would just fry it. And then I would just get rid of it. But tomatoes are doing pretty good. They're just producing really small tomatoes this year. Like I said, we've been cool. Last year, I don't think we got below high 80s for the whole season, but I have tomatoes on, so that's a plus. I gotta get in here. Like, I don't like that. But it's their first time for really hot weather. Is this not amazing? Is this not like the most beautiful sight? These are all Rudbeckias, the seeds I started. Again, I can't tell if it was a Sahara or caramel, but oh, look. Definitely gives off a fall vibe, but I'm not gonna lie. It's probably the first year I'm looking forward to fall. Actually, the mosquitoes have been horrible. This one's gorgeous. I do have to deadhead. I can't keep up with all the flowers on here. This is way too much for just myself, even friends and family, but I love this one. That's just gorgeous. But you see, I have I do have another yellow one. There's that one. Love that. And then that one's just starting. I do have it staked up, if you can see. Really, I don't think it's an eyesore, honestly. The red twig dogwoods, those are just, branches I had in my winter container, so I'm just using them. But the dragonflies like to perch on that, which is good because they eat a lot of mosquitoes. Straw flowers look amazing. Love it. I have like a purple, apricot, red. If I'm blowing, it's because I'm blowing mosquitoes off my face. This is a really bad time. I better get going, but they're so pretty. And then a silvery white. Love it. I'll try and get over here. We'll go this way. This is a zucchini. It's Rise and Shine, but I hate the way it's looking at the bottom there. Like, what is up with that? So I have 3 there. I'll have to figure that out. Beans are doing good. Lots of buds on this one. And then I'm making more. So it's kind of like my little bean art. It's kind of cool looking. And then this is a purple one. I don't remember the variety. I'll have to look at my seed packets. Pretty flowers. And then lots going on here. I love this. This is kind of like a little privacy area too, which I love. More sea dahlias. Wow, I wonder what happened. Makes me cringe. It's a lot of sirens. This is just a bronze fennel. This is Sweet Annie, and I love it. And it lasts a good amount of time in bouquets. This is just doing what it wants to do, and it's a very airy, cottagey feel over here, and I don't mind it. Last minute planting, they actually are doing better here. So hopefully that amounts to something. Look, much better. Cucumbers are doing great. I'm gonna go back this way. So this was a later sowing, which hopefully this heat will help. Oh, did you see the size of this hibiscus too? I lost my path. This is Story Night. That was a really pretty one. I love that foliage. Oh, this is so beautiful. Ooh, that's, oh, I'm gonna get that one. That is a beautiful color. Look at that. And then these cucumbers, it looks great, but I picked one cucumber. There's so many in there, but they don't get much bigger than that. I'm hoping this heat, we've had enough rain, but they need the heat. Just seeing what my dog's barking at. And then another sowing of cucumbers, but I do have this little teepee arch here, and the other one is climbing on it, so. Status is looking good, and there's a beautiful breeze right now. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, neighbor. I'd like to try it. And then the frosted explosion is just exploding all over the place. Nothing with the lisianthus yet. I just have to get my eye poked out from that. Snapdragons look great. Again, I just have a lot of flowers for just myself. Here. It is beautiful. Like I said, we've just been really cool, so they've been loving it. Gomphrena, Keys Carmine, it's gorgeous. Like, oh. Of course, the Scabiosa Black Knight, more seeds I started. I really like that. One plant produces a lot. I did move that one container over here because I put something else over there. But the oregano that I started looks pretty good. One died on the other side, but the geranium here, pelargonium, I don't know. It's going through the ringer. I don't know. This is a Father Gila. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it's water stress. It should not look like this. So, Dervilla. Look at that. Can I get back there? Oh, this is a little hottie. I'm getting eaten up, but look at. So. Some zinnias. Clematis looks amazing. Pink mink is that one, and then Polish Spirit Viticella is the really deep purple with a bigger bloom. Okay. Look, more. Jacob Klein bee balm. So I put this here. I went to an antique store with my niece, and this was there, of course. I love these kind of containers. They're hard to find in my area, so I just planted up with more. Yep, Verbena Bampton, and I love it. Just gonna look at this real quick. Yeah, even though we've got storms coming, I might give that a shot of rain or a shot of water. This is Sabella Celine White. It's just beautiful. Really beautiful. Still pretty, but I'm still thinking on that. Nothing, I'm just kind of, I've got time. More of the Gomphrena down here. Like I said, I kind of like it as a bedding plant versus in containers. I really like that. And then more Cosmos, just a mixture. I do have to get in on Deadhead. This oregano died, but that's okay. The pelargoniums look amazing. I'm probably gonna they're kind of pretty too, though, the seed heads. I love this planter. It's simple. And the fact that there were 5 little plants of mine that I started from seed in there, and it did what I wanted it to do, and I'm super stoked by that. And if it seeds all over, I'd be okay with that too. I don't know if I can get to the back. The mosquitoes are really... Honeysuckle, it's like second big flush. Love it. I think that's a squirrel. I did get these planted, more heucheras, which is the Georgia peach. They look great. Mine that I started from seed how many years ago is just succumbing to root rot, just way too much rain. Lady's mantle does need to get trimmed up, but again, I have so much garden debris that I have to figure out what I really want to get rid of. And this is Nosferatu. Look how loaded that is in buds. I did this, more heuchera there, I love it. And I did move some of my Japanese painted ferns, the crested surf. So I've got, that one was there, but I just kind of brought that one here and then put one right there just to make it, would you say, cohesive? So this is turtle head, Kiloni. I don't think I've ever seen it bud up this early. This is a late flowering plant for me. This is usually signifies fall is here. That's early and alarming. The sky looks not good. I do have, I don't know if I showed you, I do have an echinops in here, like a globe thistle, if you see those little heads. I had 6 plants, but some look a little tough due to all the rain too, but some are still living, which is very surprising. Oh, I missed this. I have more clematis, Princess Kate. I love the backside. I think that's beautiful. I better make it quick. Long videos do not work for my uploading. Coffee grounds go into my compost bins. I love the Polish Spirit Viticella. That is a vigorous clematis. That is one I wouldn't mind putting on that arch over there. Sun Kings are taking over. There are some hosses that I want to move, and I think I'll put that under the pine tree. Ajuga is just unbelievable. This is a coralberry, and it's starting to flower. And normally this is later in the season too. And it's massive. I was not expecting. Little hottie has budded up. Last year it did nothing. I mean, it's 9 barks. Another coralberry, but this I planted last year in the fall, so that's put on a lot of height. And then I love this. This is a blue dwarf Arctic willow. And finally it's got some height. I love it. I wouldn't mind finding another one of those. Look. Oh, I love that honeysuckle. I just don't remember the name of that. There's no scent to that one. All right, I think I'm going to end the tour here. Hopefully enjoyed my backyard garden tour, along with some of my successes and messes and just kind of ramblings. So hopefully enjoyed. Bye for now.